Cult of the Lamb. Cute animals with big old heads and absolutely nothing going on.
Except undying loyalty to you.
In this episode, we'll be talking about themes of old gods in ancient text and prophecy. Welcome to the two-part episode of Occultism in Games, Cult of the Lamb. For anyone new to this series, this is where we explore occult themes and their real-life counterparts. If you haven't already, consider picking up this game, and with spooky season right around the corner, hopefully you'll be able to find a sale. We begin the game as a sacrificial lamb, walking to our sacrifice, being offered up to the four bishops: Leslie, the god of chaos; Hecate, the god of famine; and Killamar, the god of pestilence; and Shimara, the god of war. These twisted representations of divine claim to suppress evil, yet they embody it themselves, to whatever means necessary to fulfill their occultic duties. Ironically, their sacrifice awakens a very power they try to seal away: the one who waits, the Bishop of Death. Chained beneath reality, this god saves the lamb, not out of mercy, but for revenge. He grants the lamb power to rise again, but this time as his vessel to exact his own plans. The player now controls the lamb, one who doesn't fight back, but builds a cult to spread influence for the one who waits, by whatever means necessary. To what end? Well, the old gods and the chained gods operate in the same way. They all demand the blood of their followers. Before we dive more into the game, I first want to take a look at the real-world influences that reinforce the ideas of the game's design. This way, we can truly appreciate what the developers have crafted both in terms of the religious symbolism and popular media. Similarities between the four bishops from the game lead to the Mesopotamian culture, who believed that the world was populated with powerful gods, demons, and semi-divine spirits that had control over natural phenomenon such as devastating weather conditions and inflicting illness on the common man. There was no understanding of what really caused these things, so they saw them as punishments or attacks from a higher power. Zuzu was a demon that was associated with drought and famine, and was also used as a protective figure to keep other evil spirits away. Zuzu was particularly invoked to fight Lamashu, another demon that harmed pregnant women and infants. Even Tiamat, who is now popularized in games such as Final Fantasy and D&D, has a story from the Mesopotamian religion, Enuma Elish, the Babylon epic of creation, where Tiamat attempts to avenge Apus, who is killed by a mass of new noisy divine children. Tiamat starts a war upon her own, but is slain by Marduk, the storm god, who uses her body to construct the cosmos. The Mesopotamian religion left a literary legacy from gods to incantations, so you can link so much of today's modern media to their writings. While the Mesopotamian culture inspired the four bishops in this game, the one who waits, I believe, is from the Hebrew Jewish culture. Moloch, a demon who requires a human sacrifice to gain power, was written about in the Hebrew Bible. He was given an illegitimate place in Israel's worship, and throughout literature he's described as a child-eating fallen angel. He openly abdicates for war against the heavens, and this is closely resembling the one who waits, wanting a sacrifice for power and openly wanting war with the four bishops. Inspiration from the ancient and religious texts are the source, and while digging around, I could see that many regions had their text relating to demons and gods: Jewish, Indian, Greek, Persian, and Christian, from what I found researching. And we only see more and more of these stories put into the mainstream media. Tarot in the modern day is more spiritual awareness for self-reflection and therapy, which is nothing like Cult of the Lamb, or even what it originally was in the 14th and 15th century Italy, where it was a party trick or used to cheat in bridge. It wasn't until the 18th century that it got its occult revival. Something that started as a party trick had guidebooks tying it to astrology, alchemy, and Kabbalah. Tarot card reading is a deck of 78 cards to gain insight into the past, present, and future, where Cult of the Lamb uses tarot as a randomized power-up system. Actual tarot relies on symbolic interpretation, and the card's image, position, and context all matter. For this video, I picked up a tarot deck, and I've done a few readings for myself, my friends, and for my cats. Overall, while tarot is supposed to be tied to astrology and numerology, I feel like it's more for self-interpretation. Most cards can simply be linked to very common things everyone deals with. What I found most enjoyable is the self-reflection it gave me. It was just nice to see the meaning in the books that is supplied with the cards and give it more critical thought. So while Clonette hands you a fate boosting buff for the battlefield, Real Life Tarot aims to tell you a story. In-game, prophecy is part of the Lamb's Crusade. As you slash through dungeons, you encounter Clonette, a seer who draws tarot cards to shift the course of each run. Each card offers a glimpse into your next battle. Some may benefit you, and some don't. While in-game, the tarot cards don't completely match up to real life, they do have some similar cards. Within the game, cards are randomly drawn for you, and you pick the ones you want based on stats and the ones you want for your run. But don't worry, Clonette can still ruin your run by just giving you terrible cards. Card buffs only last through the crusade, and that's similar to doing a daily reading. From imprisoned old gods demanding worship, to tarot's glimpse into fate, this is just the beginning of the occult topics touched on in this game. So, in the next video, we'll be talking about cults and ritual sacrifice. Thanks for hanging out with me and unraveling the occult with me. If you know any other Cult of the Lamb references or have any other games that I should check out, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, pledge your soul to the subscribe button. It's less painful than ritual sacrifice. Probably. See you in the next one.